Hi, I'm Bob Nystrom.
Hi, this is Bo Dietl.
Hey, this is Rich Big Daddy Salgado.
Hi, this is Doc Goodney, and you're watching SportsBiz.
SportsBiz.
SportsBiz with LD.
Sports fans, this is SportsBiz with LD.
Welcome to SportsBiz with LD. I'm your host, Larry Davis. Brought to you by the Rampart Insurance Group. For all your insurance needs, rampartinsurance.com. 388 Restaurant and Lounge, 388 Willis Avenue in Roslyn, New York. Delicious food, drinks, and they have a party room. And A1 VIP Entertainment for all your tickets. And if you want to meet someone behind the stage, tickets, autographs, and photos, they're the place. A1 VIP Entertainment. And another buddy of mine, minpros.com, which I just wanted to say about minpros.com. This weekend, he does his tours. This is one of the biggest ones he has. There might be some tickets still available at minpros.com. He's got over 200 people going to the Yankee game, and you will meet in the suites that he has Jim Leyritz, Mike Torres, Doc Gooden, and many more different players. That minpros.com. And of course, we've got to thank Daily Blue, because without dailyblue.com, we would not be here. And to my left, my co-hostess, I guess.
Hostess, yes.
Kelly. What's happening, Kelly?
What's up? Excited to be with SportsBiz.
Listen, let's not hope that Brittany, baby got back. I don't want any problems with you guys.
I know. We don't want to cause a rift between the two of us.
Yeah, she might get jealous.
She's jealous.
She's jealous already.
Yeah,
oh, really?
She's down there.
Well, maybe we'll see if we'll let her sit in that seat.
Yeah, maybe.
Who knows? At the end of the show, Kelly, who knows if you'll let me still sit in this seat?
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see.
We will see. Because you go LD, Kelly.
Yeah, it's easily changeable.
Easily changeable. I'm sure Mikey in the room over there can take care of that.
He's ready to go.
On the show, he could do that.
Yeah, right away.
Well, one of the features, one of the big features on the show is Off My Chest. So, of course, there's always things that I like, don't like, bother me. Last couple of weeks, the Ray Rice thing has bothered me, and I'm working on getting Steve Spagnuolo on the show, who was defensive coordinator of the Giants in 2007, and also happens to be now their secondary coach and assistant head coach to Mr. Harbaugh, Coach Harbaugh. So we're trying to get him on hopefully next week.
Awesome.
But let's talk a little bit about it, and not because I have you on. Okay.
No.
Talking about women in sports and
Big
stuff
topic
that I
right
love.
now.
Yeah, and I'm a big fan of women, as you know.
Yeah, well, that's good.
Becky Hammon, okay, played in the WNBA for 16 years. As a matter of fact, I did business with Becky Hammon when I had these Last Licks ice cream stores. I brought her to do an appearance, meet the kids, and then we had set up a basketball hoop in the parking lot at our store in Scarsdale.
That's awesome.
And it was awesome, and it would have been great. The only thing what happened was like a couple of days before her appearance, she hurt her ankle. So she came. So we were going to do a clinic as well. So she came to the appearance, with her ankle wrapped up, so we couldn't do that. But she was still great.
That's awesome.
And here we are. She is now the first assistant female coach in NBA history.
It's awesome.
I love it, right?
It's exciting. It's exciting.
Now, from a girl's point of view, being athletic and watching sports, I know you're a big fan of sports. Is it exciting just because it's a woman, or you feel that she really knows her stuff? And Popovich, Greg Popovich, the head coach, made a good choice. He
definitely made a good choice. She's very knowledgeable. She knows what she's doing. She's got experience, and everyone says she's a leader. Since she started playing, even at a young age, has been a leader. So I'm glad that she got it because she's a woman and she's qualified. So hopefully, I'm sure there are plenty more out there that are just as qualified that hopefully now it'll open the door. And we'll reach a point where a woman getting an assistant coach job isn't huge news. It's just like if a man got the job.
Well, the interesting take on that is two things I'm thinking about. One, there's got to be some men assistant coaches out there who are going to be not happy that they would have had the job and now are the Becky, or in other places like you're saying might end up getting their job.
Yeah.
Right? And then how do you think the players are going to be. I mean, listen, the players on the air, everyone's got to say the right thing. But, you know, you think there will be some guys, like if you're coaching a guy and be like, listen, it's a girl telling me what to do. Listen, I know she played in the WNBA, but...
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you'll definitely get that. But that's with anything, you know, even in a corporation, a woman CEO, men under her could be acting the same way.
Like, you know, how does it work here? Do you think the men who work for Corinne and stuff, are they cool? Do they handle it well, you think?
Yeah, we have good guys that handle it well, but I'm sure there's some out there that wouldn't. So.
Or until they get in their car and they close the door and they yell and scream.
Yeah, it could be possible, but no, I think hopefully, you know, in the beginning it'll be like that, but maybe the more and more it comes out there, the more the guys will get more comfortable. And
I think they're going to at the point that what's going to happen is Kelly
yes,
is still having a choice.
Yeah,
that's the coach.
What I'm saying. Yeah, that's,
you know, and at least she balled. She was a baller. 16 years in WNBA, she can
knows
play.
Her stuff.
You know, you want to play one-on-one with her? Okay, most probably the guy's going to beat her, but that's not the point.
No.
Her knowledge of the X and O's, once she flows with that, and listen, she's with the best coach maybe in all of sports,
Absolutely.
Greg Popovich.
Yeah.
You know, and if Pop says it, you're on this, you know what I mean, on our team, on our coach, these guys are going to realize, listen, he's not just doing it to have a woman on there.
Yeah, no, not at all. That's what he said. Definitely the most qualified, and her basketball IQ is through the
right
roof.
up there.
So
yeah. Let's move on to more women in sports.
yes.
Besides Kelly making it to the Sports Biz with LD show.
I know, that's a big deal.
I
sure
think
this
so.
is gonna be everywhere.
I think so. Michelle Roberts, again, like you had said to me off air, you never heard of her. I didn't either.
I know, I'm not.
But she is now the executive director of the Players Association of the NBA. Now, executive director is the president, the boss. They call executive director. First female to lead any sport in North America.
Yeah.
She is in charge of the Players Association. I love it.
Again, I know, me too. It's the same thing. Same, yeah, it's awesome.
Well, her background is she's an attorney, Harvard, you know, those kind of Harvard people. I don't even know what to talk to about, you know. I can't have a conversation with those people. But
yeah, but she's qualified, and that's the bottom line.
And the players had a lot of problems with Billy Hunter. They weren't happy with him. And then the Knicks head coach, Derek Fisher, I think he was like right underneath Billy Hunter, or when they were trying to oust him. He was very, very involved in the Players Association, Derek Fisher.
Yeah.
And there were a lot of guys not happy with Billy Hunter. So he's out. Michelle Roberts is in. And again, this is what this world is, as it should be. Women should have the equality. Minorities should have, well, women are minorities, I guess, in the sports world.
Definitely, definitely. Oh, absolutely.
And breaking through to the men's game, to me, is huge.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
You know, and it's good to see that the world is changing.
I know. I mean, it's 2014.
It's about time.
It's about time, yeah.
It is about time. You know, who knows when there might be a woman commissioner. Like, the interesting thing, like the WNBA, and I should know this, but I don't, you know, who is the commissioner of the WNBA? I think it was Carol Lieberman for a while, but I would think a women's league, you know, should have a woman, you know, at least to start.
I'm not sure. I don't.
At least to start, but that shouldn't stay all the time. Like, so that would be interesting. Like, if women's sports always has women commissioners, is that right? If a man is qualified, you know, how about that?
Yeah, I agree. I think that's got to go both ways.
As it should go both ways. Why not? It really should be whoever is qualified. One of the things I don't love, you know, about the whole women's movement is just like being a firefighter. I don't like that. If you want to be a firefighter, did you tell me your boyfriend's a firefighter?
My father is.
Your father's firefighter. Okay, a New York City fighter. See, what I don't like, and I'd love to get his take on that, is they lowered the standards for a woman to be a firefighter. I totally disagree with that.
I absolutely disagree too.
You know, Kelly, you want the job, no problem. You need to do the same. You can't sit here and go, well, I'm a woman, so I can't run as much, I can't lift as much. Then you know something?
Then it's not for you.
You shouldn't get the job. Sorry.
Yep, I agree. I think a woman can do whatever a man can do, but you have to be qualified for it. So
right, if a woman can do whatever a man can do, right, you're qualified. If not,
tested to the same standards, and I agree with you there.
Well, you're agreeing with too much, Kelly. I mean, that doesn't make for good banter here.
See.
We'll get to some stuff. Now, one other thing in the women's world, Sabrina Lisicki of Germany, a couple of weeks ago, set the female record for the fastest serve in tennis.
Yeah.
210.8 kilometers, I think that's called. To me, I'm still in mile per hour.
Yeah, we'll go with, what's that, 131 miles?
131, and she beat Serena. And I'm a huge fan of Serena. Serena was a
We disagree there, so there we
129.2.
go.
Why don't you like my girl Serena?
She's not, I know you defend her, but she has the worst attitude to me. She's just not sportsmanlike. I don't like she's slamming her racket. She's arguing with the line judge all the time. I just don't like to see it.
Would you say, one, those things happened years ago? I remember at the U.S. Open was one of them when she yelled and screamed. Are these girls, guys, whatever, again, they're in their 20s. How old are you?
25.
Okay, so they're 25. They're in the same age. They're under 30. I mean, just because most of the players are mature and deal with it, it doesn't mean she's personally not a good person. You might not like everything, her antics all the time on the court.
Yes.
But most of the time, she is respectful and sportsmanlike, and she dominates.
She does. Yeah, she does dominate. You can't deny that. She definitely dominates. But, yeah, I don't know. I like her more. I guess that's just my personal opinion.
Okay, well, listen, I don't agree with you.
Yeah,
I love her. I mean,
go.
I do agree with you. I don't like that stuff. But I'm a big fan of hers, and she dominates.
She does, yeah.
And it's unfortunate, I think, for anyone who's into the women's game because there's not much competition for her, right?
No, I am actually a Victoria Azarenka is my favorite tennis player.
Where's she from?
No one even knows who she is. She's
Non-American.
Non-American, no. I'm not even sure. I'm forgetting. I believe.
Well, if you had an intern, maybe they.
I know they could have got me.
Real quick,
No, I did know too.
Now the men's record, like if I'm watching this, I'd be like, okay, well, what's the men's record and who has it? Again, Sam Groth. I never heard of him. Groth.
I was very surprised about that. Yeah.
I don't even know who he is.
Yeah.
And his is 163, almost 164 miles an hour.
You think men's record? You think Federer, Djokovic.
But something, what I'm thinking, I hear you and I agree with you, but I'm saying if this guy can go 164, and so every serve is 164, and he can do 130, 140, 150 consistently, how's he not dominating?
Yeah, that's why I'm surprised.
Right? I mean, could guys return that serve?
Apparently.
Or you just got to put your racket in front of it and boom, it just goes back.
Yeah.
All right, well, let's move along. Okay, I got my women's stuff out of the way, unless you have some other women's stuff you want to talk about.
No, that's good.
Let's, we were talking about the NBA before. Let's talk about probably the biggest trade this year. Might be in sports. I'm not sure because I didn't do that much homework, but might be in sports. Kevin Love.
Yes.
Okay, Kevin Love going from Minnesota to Cleveland for the past 2 #1 picks. Andrew Wiggins, who was picked #1 a couple of months ago, and Anthony Bennett, who was picked last year #1 by Cleveland, and a first-round pick, protected first-round pick. So that means I think if it's top 5, they don't get it in 2000. So 3 top picks, 2 #1s, and a top 10 pick for Kevin Love to go play with the greatest basketball player in the world, LeBron James. What do you think?
I think it's good. It kind of gives them their kind of, big 3, as I guess it were. But
with Kylie Irving.
Yeah. But I don't know. There's a lot of talent in the East that I don't think it's going to be the complete answer. The Bulls are going to get Derrick Rose back.
And they say he's looking like D. Rose again.
Yep, and Paul Gasol they just got too, right? And Wizards added Paul Pierce. So I think there's a lot going on in the East that could be the answer. I think it'll help, but I don't know. I just don't see them going all the way.
And with Paul George going down last week at USA with that, just you don't even want to watch that on YouTube, right? That's horrific. Now the Indiana's now down. So you're right. I believe Cleveland, Chicago, Cleveland. It's right there. Do you know who Kevin Love is related to?
I don't.
Really?
No.
And you're young. You're only 25. But did you ever hear of the Beach Boys?
I have heard of the Beach Boys.
Mike Love is a Beach Boy from the beginning, and Kevin Love is his nephew.
Look at that.
You like that little, and that wasn't from my intern, or as Corinne would say, my executive assistant.
Your executive assistant, yeah, no interns.
No interns, right? I don't have any interns. They're all executive assistants. Even though I guess maybe they start as an intern, they move up to executive assistant.
Gotta earn.
And I think, I don't have my stats exactly, but Kevin Love was averaging like 25 and 12.
Yeah.
I mean, come on, the guy is got to be top 10 player in the NBA, right? Arguably, he's right there.
But he's never seen a postseason game.
Well, he's in Minnesota, right?
Yeah.
So you're thinking, because you never saw a postseason game, maybe let's see how he plays in a
see how-
postseason? It's
yeah,
a whole
see how-
other way.
Absolutely. Some
Could be
guys
right.
disappear, some guys shine.
And some guys step up.
Yeah.
Whether or not they put up his kind of numbers.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's move on. Let's talk a little baseball. I know you're a big baseball fan.
I do like baseball.
I know you're a Yankee fan, Met fan?
Yankees.
Yankees twice, Yankees and Yankees.
Yankees and Yankees, yes.
So you won't watch a Mets game?
I'll watch the Mets. I'll root for them. If they ever made the playoffs, I would root for them. I don't know how long until that'll be, but if they did get there, I would root for them.
But if they're playing the Yankees, you're rooting the Yankees. If the Mets are
Absolutely.
playing anybody else, you're rooting for the Mets.
Yeah. Yeah, why not?
I'm that way too. I mean, listen, I don't really have a
It's
problem
New
either
York.
way.
Yeah.
Yeah, they never did anything wrong to you as a Yankee fan
No.
because they don't beat you.
Yeah, exactly.
But you know, like you're saying, the Mets look like they're going back. They're diving. They're not going to be in the playoffs. You know, listen, the pitching is very good. They
pitching
really
is
have some good
outstanding.
pitching. I mean, it's outstanding. Their bullpen is pitched well. And you still have a couple of other guys who haven't come up yet. They're in AAA. And, of course, the great Matt Harvey,
Oh,
who
yeah.
will be back next year.
Back.
And, you know, he's one of the aces of baseball. Forget about just the aces of the Mets staff.
Yeah.
You know, but I saw the pictures of Harvey the other day of, you know, tossing in the outfield. And listen, he's got a little belly. Now, again, I'm not going to say that's terrible.
Yeah.
And maybe he pitched last year with the belly, but...
I mean, look at Sabathia sometimes.
Right. I called him Captain Crunch when I had him on my radio show. And he loves Captain Crunch, by the way. But don't you think, like, you would... You know what I mean? I'm not dissing Matt Harvey. Listen, he throws, and if he throws well, but, you know, you'd figure, you know, getting a little bit of shape, right? Professional athlete. I mean, he's got a belly.
Yeah.
You know, I don't see how it can't help you be in better shape that you'll throw better. I mean, it can't be worse, no?
Yeah, it can't be worse.
I don't think so.
No.
But so I noticed that the other day with Matt Harvey. No one said anything, but you know, Kel, I always look at other things.
Yes.
And talking about the Mets, I don't think people are talking about this. Daniel Murphy leads the National League in hits.
He's having an all-star year.
All-star year, and you're right, he made the All-Star game. And he's number 3 in Major League Baseball.
Yeah.
You know, behind a couple of names we know. Well, the first name I don't know. I didn't know Jose Altuve, or Altuve. Altuve,
Yeah.
the Astro, leads the league.
Yeah.
I mean, who is this guy?
I know.
You know him? I don't even
The
know who
only
he is.
reason I know him is I play a little game on my phone, Beat the Streak. And you pick a player every day to get a hit, so it always shows who's got the best streak going and who's got the best batting
beat the
average.
streak. I like that.
Yeah.
So you pick what?
You pick
For
a player
average?
each day, whoever you want from whatever team to get a hit.
National League, American League, or the whole league?
Whole league. You could pick one or two. You can double down if you want. And if you get to the all-time hit record, 52, 56, 56.
Oh, streak, hitting streak.
If you get to the streak.
The Joe DiMaggio.
Yeah, if you get to 56, you win $5.6 million from the MLB. They've been doing it for like 3 years and no one's won yet. So,
I know, because no one's got 56.
no one's
even got
to it,
close.
But,
some guys got into 40, like Charlie Hustle, Pete Rose got to 44.
Yeah.
Some guys have gotten, but no one's gotten to 50, I don't think.
No. So it's a fun game.
Is that free?
Yeah, it's like a Dunkin' Donuts app in the MLB.
Wow, that's great. I
Yeah.
didn't even know about that.
Yeah.
So it's just the streak. Do they do other different things? Like Clayton Kershaw was, you know, going after the scoreless inning.
Yeah,
that
no,
was
it'd just be
done
streak.
by another Dodger, Oral Hershiser. I think that's 50, around the same thing.
Yeah.
The only streak is
Just
hits.
streaks, yep. And you pick
Any streaks or just the hitting
Yeah,
streak?
it's just hitting, but you don't have to pick the same person every day. You
Like, I
pick-
think Donnie Baseball had the streak of hitting a home run in consecutive games. I could be wrong. Like 10 straight games or something like that. So they wouldn't do that.
it's just all hitting.
Just hits. Wow.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah.
So the other guys who you know very well, who are, you know, second and fourth, because you have Jose,
Yeah.
then you have Murphy,
Yes.
then you have, number 2, Melky Cabrera.
Yeah. Okay, I knew
Now,
he
the
was up
interesting
there.
thing with this week, with the whole Tony Bosch getting arrested, the whole steroid thing,
Yeah.
Melky was a steroid guy.
Yeah.
And now you look at Melky, you look at Ryan Braun, just to name a couple, who they're getting tested, so I guess they're not doing it.
yeah.
I guess. Listen, you never know.
yeah,
Because when they
allegedly.
make something, they always make an antidote. But look how well he's playing without the
him.
drugs.
Yeah. I know.
So with that, do you feel, just to jump because you're a Yankee fan, do you feel that A-Rod can come back next year? And not have an A-Rod
I
crazy
do.
year, but could he do pretty well? Better
I
than
think
the
he could
Yankee
come
third
back.
baseman now.
I'm actually I'm one of the few people I think left that likes A-Rod, so I'm excited for him to come back. I think he could.
My problem with A-Rod is just you kept lying.
That's
That's my problem. You know what I mean? Because I tried to get his attorney on my show, Joe Tacopino, who was coming, and then he went on Geraldo the night or two before, and Geraldo killed him, and that was it. He wouldn't come on again. I saw him at the Nets game. But I don't know, the A-Rod thing is, just he finally did admit it. I mean, if you would have done that a year or two ago.
Yeah.
Right, well, not the first place, because human nature is to say I didn't do it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You get into a car accident, what's the first thing? It wasn't my fault.
Yeah.
You go through a red light, I didn't go through. It's just normal.
Yeah.
But after a while, come on.
I guess.
So that's my problem with A-Rod. And when he has the same birthday as me, by the way, July 27th. Just so you know. So I got to like that. Oh. But I think you're right. I don't think he'll get to those crazy numbers.
No, but
if he's 280, 2025 with 80, 90 ribbies, Yankees will take that, not for what he's getting paid.
No, yeah, but it'll be better than a lot of what we have right now. Yeah.
And then number 4, another great Yankee who the Yankees decided not to give the money to was Robinson Cano.
No, yes.
He's batting like .330.
Yep.
Doing everything he did with the Yankees, except in Seattle. I don't think he's hitting as many homers, but it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And one of the things I think people didn't talk about with Robbie Cano is he plays like every game.
Oh, yeah.
He averages, I think, like 158, 150. I mean, crazy.
Yeah.
He's playing every day.
Yeah.
Doesn't get hurt.
Yeah.
Doesn't ask for a day off. That means a lot, because that means he's getting 580, 590, 600 at bats. Mm-hmm. And batting 320, 330. I mean, he's a baller, and he's a homegrown guy. And I totally did not agree with the Yankees giving Ellsbury that kind of money. I didn't see it.
No, me either. And I still don't really.
I still don't. Well, now
he's playing.
He's a little better than Brett Gardner, in my opinion.
See, Brett Gardner, I think, is the best Yankee this year.
Well, he is probably this year, but you also look at it. Well, also Robertson. People are not realizing Robinson's like 30 for 32.
Yeah.
I mean, the guy's proven, you never can forget Mariano at all. He's doing a very, very good job. But again, we'll see what happens in the playoffs, because all this stuff doesn't mean anything in Yankee land unless it's in the playoffs.
Yeah.
But, I looked at the Ellsbury thing, and I said one thing. When I hear $20 million, you know what word I got to hear after that when it's $20 million per year?
What?
Superstar.
Oh, yeah.
He's not.
He's not, yeah.
You don't give somebody $20 million if they're not a superstar in this league. So I didn't like the Ellsbury trade. I mean, the Ellsbury signing, but that's me.
Yeah.
The other thing I wanted to bring up, too, the numbers. With this being Derek's last year, I would have thought any time a Yankee game is on, definitely would have spiked, because people want to at least get a glimpse, see if Derek plays.
Yeah.
And also on the Yes Network. But it's interesting, last week during the series the Yankees just ended against the Tigers, the numbers came out in the David Price game, which I think is the only game the Yankees lost, because the Yankees almost swept the Tigers.
That was the only one they lost, yep.
Was the second highest rated game on the MLB Network.
Yeah.
Since 2012. I mean, out of nowhere, what were they looking to see? David Price and the Tigers? I don't get it.
I don't get it either. I mean, it was a huge trade, but I don't.
All of a sudden, you want to watch that game? Like, that's such a big thing?
Very random.
And then on the Yankee telecast, that particular game was up 24% from last season. It was the second highest telecast on the Yes Network this season.
Really?
And the Yankee telecasts are up 24% from last season. We totally can see that's a whole Derek Jeter thing.
Derek Jeter, absolutely.
So it's interesting, but they average 283,000 viewers a night. I don't know, it just seems low to me. There's not more Yankee fans out there looking to watch the game.
I guess not.
You know what I think the problem is? I think baseball, Kelly, is so boring. I mean, it really is boring.
It's boring, and it's every day. It's not like Football Sunday where it's once a week and you're building up all week.
Well, now Football Sundays become Thursday.
Well,
become Monday
Thursday,
and Sunday night. So they're expanding it, but baseball's every day.
But it's you're not. It's every day, and it does get boring. I love baseball. I like going to the games. I watch at least 1 or 2 a week, but.
From beginning to end, first inning to ninth inning? Mm-hmm. Kelly, what's going on in your social life, Kelly? I mean, you at the bar hanging out and the game is on?
I've got a job. You think I'm out during the weekdays?
Well, that's good for Corinne to hear that at least at home.
Yes, I'm at home watching baseball.
At home watching baseball, right? That's why you should be on the show. Or maybe you get your own show. I don't want to go back into that. I'm a little worried about that.
Yeah, I know.
So that's my take on that. And I think also going back to the soccer, which I always thought was boring, I wouldn't watch. Baseball, soccer, baseball. Wow, wasn't that boring?
Soccer, to me, is the most boring thing on this earth. I would rather watch golf than soccer.
Oh, golf. Right, without Tiger, who's watching that stuff? And everything is
It's
Tiger.
out, people
Tiger
are-
could be 10 shots behind. Let's go see what Tiger's doing.
Oh, yeah. So,
And I love in golf, it's always, let's go see what Tiger's doing. Why are they talking so long? Are they right there, like standing next to Tiger right behind him?
I guess so.
Right? I mean, they always talk so
It's
long.
just their-
Tiger Woods on
manner.
13th hole for birdie.
Yeah, maybe I'd rather watch soccer than golf. But if I heard a good quote about soccer, someone asked me, "You like soccer?" I'm like, no, I think it's boring. They're like, "Oh, it's great if you love 1-0 games."
Well, yeah, that's the problem. People want exciting games. You know, one last thing about baseball, I think. Is there a guy out there, and you're a baseball fan, that, you know, like years ago when the home run kings and all these guys hitting home runs, there was always like, when this guy's up, I got to see his at bat. You know, I want to watch his at bat. I can't really think of anyone in baseball today. They're like, wow, you know, like I remember Canseco, McGuire. You know, there were some guys, Sosa. You know, you're like, I want to watch. I got to see that guy.
Yeah.
I don't think there's a guy out there like you got to see his at bat.
No. And you know, all the guys that go on these random streaks during the season, but no one's, you know, last year Chris Davis came out of nowhere. But I'm not going out of my way to watch the Orioles.
And you know what the problem is with that is, so Chris Davis comes out of nowhere, hits 50 bombs.
Crush Davis now, yeah.
50 bombs, right. Hitting below the Mendoza line. He's batting like 197. I looked at it the other day.
Yeah,
He's got 19 homers, 50-some-odd ribbies.
But, yeah.
But the problem, unfortunately, is because of the steroid guys, is you look at Chris Davis, and what's the first thing you're thinking when he came out of nowhere?
Steroids, yep.
Not fair. But that's what those
it's not
guys
fair,
have
but
tainted.
that's out of nowhere. You're hitting like this. And with all this in baseball, that's what you're going to think, unfortunately.
Right, and here we are this year backing it up. You know, he's got 19, 20. You know, maybe he ends up with 30. Okay, so maybe last year was an aberration, or maybe he was doing something, and that's what I don't like. It's a shame what's happened in baseball because of those guys. And now they also said with the whole biogenesis thing that Major League Baseball is going to get more names. They said, I don't know if you read this, but because it just came out, I think, yesterday, because you're probably watching the Yankee game, so you were busy. But I think there's another at least 15 or more names that might be made public.
Yeah, I can see it. And it's unfortunate. But
It really is unfortunate. But if you did it, you know, you do something illegal, most of the time, if not close to all the time, you will get caught.
it'll come out.
It'll come out.
Yeah.
So that's another ugly thing for baseball, even though they're breaking records and doing tons of business. You know, they're only, I think, a $3 or $4 billion sport.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Let's move on to a little football. You know, you had preseason football last night, which I don't know who watches preseason. I mean, are you kidding me?
No.
Are you serious? Like, who's watching that?
I turned it on, the Giants-Bills game the other night. I watched the first drive, and I turned it off.
And that's all you need, right?
It's all, you know.
But they did bring Eli back, because I think Eli had a fumble.
He
I think
did,
Eli had
yeah.
an interception.
Yes.
And I spoke about it last week. That's going to be tough for Eli to change everything he's done in the last 10 years. And, you know, I was talking to Steve Spagnuolo, I'm hoping to have on next week, who's, like I told you, assistant coach of the Ravens.
Yes.
I said to him, you know, how difficult will it be? And I don't think it was fair because he coached with Kevin Gilbride. You know, he was the defensive coordinator. I was like, what did Gilbride do wrong? He's there 10 years. They have one off year. I blame most of that on Eli. What did Eli have, 27 interceptions?
I blame it. He's not an athletic quarterback, and he had no protection. I blame a lot of that on having absolutely no protection.
As a team.
As a team, yeah.
And I would argue with you probably you're right on some points, and then if you went to the tape, X amount of those throws, like why are you even trying?
Sure, trying, yes.
But, you know, stats are stats.
But
He has 27
he's
interceptions.
He's not a Russell Wilson or a Colin Kaepernick. He's not moving out of that pocket, so when he's forced, he makes these stupid decisions, but he has no protection, so... I love Eli. I defend Eli to the death.
As you should. But bottom line is, I love Eli also, and bottom line is, you had 27 INTs.
Yeah.
That's what it comes down to.
Yeah, I know.
You know, just like Bill Parcells always said, you are your record, you are your stats. You had 27 INTs. So, yeah, like I said, you can go back and go, well, receiver fell down, or he didn't make the right cut. You know, so that you get a couple.
Yeah.
27 is a lot.
I know.
You know, and then to get rid of Gilbride, I mean, they say, oh, he was ready to retire.
Yeah.
I don't think so. All of a sudden he's ready to retire, you know, and he had one bad year.
Yeah.
All of a sudden they get rid of him, but, you know,
We'll
let's
see.
get to, so Fox now has come up with their broadcast teams, and everybody's into, you know, the announcers. So you got Joe Buck and Troy Aikman. You like them together?
Yeah.
You don't love them? You're not like, wow, yeah, they're
not
great.
like, wow, yeah.
Who's a wow? So you like Phil Simms
I do like Phil Simms.
and Jim Nantz? You like their combination better?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know better. I don't... I'm not really big into that. I don't really.
You're not big into the announcers.
No, I mean, yeah, there's none that really.
It's all about the game, not about the announcers.
I'm not. I can't stand this. I know guys who really are like, oh, I can't listen to this. I can't stand this guy.
Right.
But I've never really been like that.
So you're watching a game, and they can talk all they want, and that's really all there is.
Yeah.
Maybe because then you have we've had on the show a few times Kenny Albert. Kenny Albert is with Moose, Darryl Johnson.
Yes.
And also, that's the only way they do it is they have Tony Siragusa as the third guy. Like some will get into the sideline reporting thing, but he's really on the field. He's not on the sideline. He's usually in the end zone, which way they're going. And he really is part of making it a three-man group. It's just not up in the studio. And they have the girls, the sideline reporters, or the men. But I think it's mostly women who are sideline reporters.
Yeah.
But they only go to them maybe 4 times a game, before or after halftime and whatnot. And we'll get into that 1 second, like I just said. But, so that's different. It's interesting that no other broadcast crew does that. Broadcast crew has a guy on the field like a Tony Siragusa.
Yeah, that is interesting.
Right, it is interesting that he comes up with some stuff on the field and sees some things. Then again, some of this stuff is just repetitive, and, these guys just talk to talk.
Yeah.
So the other thing we talked about also is that Pam Oliver, who has been on the sidelines for, it's got to be 20 years.
Yeah, 19, I think it was her
close?
19th year.
With
last
the number
year,
one
so now
team.
It's 20.
And now everyone's darling, Erin Andrews now.
Erin Andrews.
Erin Andrews now is on the sideline with them. And, Kelly, I just look at sideline reporting, and it's not a diss whether it was a guy or a girl.
It's
like, what?
I know. It's the same question. Yeah, like you said, it's repetitive.
Right, like they'll come back and go, well, I just spoke to the coach at halftime, and I asked him, what do you need to do to be different? Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. It's never anything that you're like, wow, that was very informative. I'm glad I got to know
it would
that.
be more interesting to me if like a guy's injured, she or he can get over there and get the doctor talking to the player, and he's like, oh, my knee's killing me.
Yeah.
That's a little more. That's what I would think sideline reporting is.
At least it's something new, and not something I could have just said myself at home.
No diss to Erin, Pam, or whoever.
Oh, absolutely.
I don't get the whole sideline reporting thing. I think we need more.
Yeah.
It's interesting. I see Rondé Barber, Tiki's brother.
Yeah.
He started last year. He's on a team too. He's going to teaming up with Chris Myers, Donovan McNabb, and Brady Quinn. You remember Brady Quinn, who was the quarterback of Notre Dame, then got drafted and has not really done much in the NFL. I don't know if you know Brady Quinn is.
I know that. Yeah.
He's got a job too. So hopefully they just don't bring players on just because they're an ex-player and they bring something to the table.
Yeah.
Other than keeping with the football theme, I read somewhere now that the Jets are thinking about coming back. You read that too, coming back to Long Island. Now they're doing a Hofstra Day, August 21st.
Yes.
And then there's some rumors out there that they're going to move from SUNY Cortland. Right, exactly. You heard that too? Go to Farmingdale. You heard that?
Mm-hmm. Yes, I did hear that.
You've been to Farmingdale? I've never been to
Farmingdale, no.
You've never been to Farmingdale, even though you live in Long Island?
Yeah, no, I've never. I'm out east, so I'm never really.
So it's just interesting, like Farmingdale. I mean, Hofstra, they have the fields, and interesting. I don't know why they would. Yeah, why Farmingdale?
Yeah, maybe it's a money thing.
It's got. I was just going to say that's why it's a sports business show.
Yeah,
it's all about the money.
Yeah.
But I would just think, does Farmingdale? Again, does Farmingdale have money? Like I would think maybe they'd go out east by you. Stony Brook has a big program. Football program, basketball, they're putting their name on the map. Chuck Priori, the coach of Stony Brook, has done a good job. I know him. I know his brother. And they have a nice new field. You would think that maybe they would think there, or maybe they are. Maybe behind the scenes that they're going to be going there.
Yeah.
Could be.
Guess we'll see.
The other thing is Stephen A. Smith. What's the matter? You don't like him? Can't stand. Why are you saying it low? You're on TV.
I can't stand him.
Why can't you stand Stephen A?
I just can't. His voice, everything, his rants, the way he speaks, the way he thinks knows everything. He's just. I'm not a fan.
What about the substance? Do you think he knows what he's talking about?
Sometimes. Sometimes I think he defends people just because of certain personal reasons. He comes up with these things. I'm like, well, how are you even saying this? Like the whole Ray Rice thing, for example, that was just ridiculous. But
right.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm just the times I have actually bared to watch, I usually only agree with like 80% of what he has to say. I know he's big into basketball. He knows. I mean, I I meant to say disagree with 80%. I know he knows a lot about basketball. I'm not a big basketball fan, so I don't really know. I'm sure he knows a lot about that, but everything else, I don't know.
It just comes down to me with everyone who's on TV, radio, who gets a forum like you and I have today. It's our opinion.
Yeah.
I mean, who says you're right or wrong? Even if you had the coach on, and the coach says, yeah, well, I did this for this reason. Well, there's plenty of people say, well, coach, you could have done this. You know, so I think that happens all the time. But now Stephen A. Smith got suspended, and whether it was happening or not, he's moving to Sirius Radio. He's going to Mad Dog Radio. He's going to have a show there, 2-hour show every day. ESPN is, I think, part of it, you know, maybe producing part of it, but he will not be on the ESPN radio airwaves. I'm sure he'll still be on TV, but he's moving to them. And then one last thing you did bring up to me before, something about hockey. You know, you were saying that you were talking about, so who are your top 3 players in the NHL? Or 5, if you want to expand it.
No, I don't want to go top. My whole hockey thing came because of Daniel Murphy, and now he's not getting recognized, and I think that has a little something to do with the team he's on. They're, you know, like you said, I think 7 games below 500, and
only 7.
I think it is 7, only 7, surprisingly. And my thing is John Tavares and JT, and he's in my top 3. I think you know, whether it's number 2 or number 3, I put it. He's in my 2. I know a lot would disagree. 1? Crosby.
Sidney Crosby.
I'll go with Tavares next, and then maybe Ovechkin. And I got into an argument about Tavares and Ovechkin, and what was amazing to me is it was with my friends from Maryland, so of course they're
Terp fans,
Capital fans, and they're all Ovechkin is, you know, one of them even said he's number 1, which no one's better than Crosby, so I'm not gonna get into that. But yeah, 2 of the people didn't even know who Tavares was, and that just like.
So surprising that he is in the New York market.
Yeah,
and he gets no play.
Amazes me. He's, even if you don't, you know, want to disagree, he's definitely top 5 in the NHL. So for people to not even know who he is, it's like blows my mind.
He's a stud. Yeah, you're right. Well, it's amazing how quick it went, Kelly.
Yes.
So I want to thank some sponsors. You know, and everyone talked about where they can see sports. SportsBizWithLD.com. They can tweet us.
Tweeting us at SportsBiz.
Right.
With LD. And we got the Facebook page, SportsBiz with LD.
All those different places, and Kelly takes care of it all for us. So, you know, shout out to Kelly and me, either on the website or on Facebook or tweet. We're all over that. Kelly and I will answer it, and Kelly is all over that and all our other ways of communication. I want to thank the Daily Blue.
Yes.
Without the Daily Blue and them putting us on, Kelly, we'd be doing this from our living room and no one we were watching or get the chance to watch.
Yep.
Also want to thank the Rampart Insurance Group for all your insurance need, rampartinsurance.com. I want to thank 388 Restaurant and Lounge, 388 Willis Avenue in Roslyn, New York for a delicious meal, and they have a catering room on and off premises. And A1 VIP Entertainment for all your ticket needs. And if you want to meet someone backstage, get photos, autographs before the concert, A1 VIP Entertainment is the place. And just so you know, John is celebrating his anniversary today. Isn't that nice?
Congratulations.
Kelly, thanks. I appreciate you being on the show.
Thank you for
I'm Larry Davis, Sports Biz with LD.
SportsBiz is sponsored by the Rampart Insurance Group for all your insurance needs. Special thanks to mintpros.com. Brought to you by the Daily Blue Network. Sports fans, this is SportsBiz with LD.